Alrighty. What week is this? I think this is either week 3. No, this is week 2. Fuck. I genuinely don't know. Because the first week of January started on a Thursday, January 1st and 2nd, Thursday, Friday. And then next week was from the 5th to the 9th. And this week is 12th to the 16th. I honestly don't even know. Week 2 or 3, I'll figure it out and I'll put it in the title. So don't need to worry about that. But anyways, we're gonna start off on January 12th, which is Monday. Looks like, looking at my other screen here, we have a win. So let's just replay back to that day. We'll go to 9:30. Yeah. Let me pull this up over here. See the picture. Okay, yeah. So this day was pretty simple. Let's put this little indicator on. Okay, so from what I see here, automatically this looks like a reversal. That like an Asia, where you can see that we're in a downtrend, kind of continue this downtrend, and we end up reversing off London. Typical London reversal, New York continuation is what I'm looking for here. That's just the first thing I can assume. Of course, we're going to need more confluences to really see if that's the case. So we add more confluences onto this because we have an SMT here. SMT from this low to this low. And I mean, we do still have low resistance. We have a good amount of low resistance here. But so far we're 2 for 2 on reasons for being bearish. Now let's just start off by checking the 4-hour. Okay, it's gonna show this. Let me see if we actually tap that. So this is where the 4-hour began, right? Keep that in mind. And so we are currently in the 4-hour, not in it, but we've hit the 4-hour already. Now let's check to see what we did on ES. Maybe we have an SMT at the 4-hour. Right? Let's see. So this green line is where the 4-hour began. And so we have not yet hit the 4-hour, but we are looking like we're going to. Very close to London high. So still, again, just adding further confluences to being bullish here. Let's see what else. Maybe we rejected off something here. Nothing much else. Doesn't really look like anything on the 4-hour. We'll check the 1-hour lastly, and then we'll just skip up to the setup. Again, really nothing here. We do take some good liquidity out on ES. Make that SMT here on NQ. Yeah, so we don't really have anything else. Targets, though, we have an unmitigated hourly up here. We already tapped in that 4-hour, so there's really no need to mark that. But this hourly / Asia, so that's a good target that we could aim for. Not the best, but seems reasonable to me. We have an unmitigated 15-minute above it as well. So ideally, we just want to look for a simple continuation long. I wouldn't be looking for shorts until we inverse a higher time frame gap. We do have a really tiny 15-minute here. We have a 15-minute here, but it just looks so unideal to try and short. So the only thing I can see is us, taking out some low resistance, and then getting longs, or even if we just run up, get a 15-minute pullback, and then long continuation longs from there. So yeah, let's just play this out. So market opens and we just bull run through these targets. Now at this point in time, there's really nothing to look forward to. So sorry, I have to scratch my back. Just getting off after this happens. All the DOLs already gotten taken out. Not really looking for shorts or anything. So getting off here seems reasonable. But that doesn't mean we did not get an A+ model here. So I'm gonna actually keep playing this here. And it's about right here. Okay, so we get this 5-minute pullback, right? I'm not even gonna mark the 5-minute. I'm just gonna mark it with this. See the 5-minute pullback. And we have an SMT with that 5-minute, as you can see right here. 935, 935. SMT at the 5 minute. Now, I did say all the targets have been taken out, but if we do look a little bit higher, we can see. Let me bring this back because it shows that it's getting hit already. But we have stacked low resistance right there. You can just tell by the what's it called? These 15-minute wicks right here. This just looks crazy for low resistance. If I go down to the 1 minute time frame and bring it back, you can see the stacked low resistance we have there. We also have this high here, and I think we had an unmitigated hourly. That's what it's showing. Okay, we did. So we have an unmitigated hourly as well, right there. So we do have decent targets. But the best looking target seems to be this low resistance. So yeah, that's now that we have our targets established and we have a reason for going higher. We're not just aiming for nothing here, right? This is basically what makes up the trade. So hit the 5 minute. We have a very nice 2 minute IFPG right here, and I think this was around a almost like a 1.5 or something like that. Yeah, around a 1.5 for this final TP. But like I said, this seems more reasonable. But we'll just mark it like this and see what happens. I did miss out on this trade, unfortunately. I was looking to take it right here when the 2 minute got inversed. But this 1 minute ended up not getting inversed. We were pretty close to it. We were just right in the middle. And I was just waiting for a little bit further confirmation. I don't know, I guess because we were overextended, we didn't really have much of a deep retrace, so we are still pretty high in premium. And so I just wanted a little bit extra confirmation, but unfortunately, that is what screwed me here because we just ripped up to that unmitigated hourly, so just forced to stay out. This was a good break-even point here. And yeah, this ended up hitting. Oh my gosh, this is kind of makes me feel sad for missing out a banger like this. But yeah, my mistake here on this trade was just not simply following my plan. I don't need that 1 minute to get inverse. That 2 minute was already enough, but I'm not mad at myself because there's been some times where I've saved myself from the loss from simply waiting for a 1 minute or a lower time frame to inverse as well. But it's just all about getting better and knowing when to do that and when not to. So that's that for Monday, and then after that, we did give a short setup later on, but it was just really ass. Okay, so I didn't take it, of course, and I didn't even take data on it, but you can see we reswept this high right here. Go ahead and mark that out. I think we had an SMT too. So yes, we have an SMT. ES also makes equal highs. That's two confluences. We have even more confluences because we're rejecting out of the 15 minute we tapped into. Okay, and then we also have an hourly we tapped into. So we also are due for a rebalance because we've been pretty fucking bullish ever since that London low. But we also have an unmitigated 15 minute down here, and I think we have. Let me actually check to make sure if we had this yet, this unmitigated hourly. Okay, so we did not have this yet, so we won't mark that, but we do have this 15 minute down here. Also, we had a lot of low resistance right here, so we have a set of equal lows as well, two sets of equal lows, and just a bunch of low resistance here. And then the entry, it doesn't look like we got much of an entry at all because there's absolutely nothing with this 1 minute chart. It's ridiculous, bro. But we did have a really, not obvious, but really no word to describe that. It's just a fucking 2 minute. But yeah, we have a 2 minute there. Ends up getting inverse. This is what the trade would have looked like. Something right here. Good stop loss. For 1.5 R again, that's like my favorite type of R to aim for. It's just always seems the most probable. But I honestly don't know a good break even point because there's just so much low resistance. I guess you could go break even once we hit this set of equal lows. I don't know if this got break even or not. Okay, yeah, so it did get break even. So it wasn't a losing trade or anything. And I don't even know if this delivered. So it did deliver full TP there. Probably would have left a runner towards this unmitigated 15-minute. But ultimately, this trade did deliver. Just got a break even. That would have sucked. Okay, taking this, and dude, like this just looks like, why would we not run through all of this? So I bring this back. This looks insanely bearish. Like we should just plummet all the way down here. But yeah, that's just price action for you. This price action fucking sucked. We had one good move from market open. We had a decent, actually not even a decent. It was a pretty A+ model in my opinion. But we had a really good model here. And then after that, once we hit these targets, we just chop, bro. We play within a range of like around 60 to 70 points. Did not mean to say that. 60 to 70, 6, 7. All right, anyways, let's move on to the next day. Where are we at? PM. Oh my gosh, we still have so much more to go. 9 to 10. 8 to 9. 9 to 10. All right, this next model, let's see. Tuesday. Tuesday was pretty interesting. CPI. We had the most A+ model. This was definitely, I think, this was the best model of the entire week on it. Actually, we'll wait to see that. I still need to check the other setups again. But yeah, so starting off, we had 3 setups today, okay? One was a break even, a brutal break even. Another was a loss, a straight up loss, which was a really good model. And then the final one was a win, but it was just so late in the kill zone, and honestly wasn't even looking at the markets by then to take that. But basically, okay, market opens. Well, we have CPI. Here's the CPI candle. We have a huge SMT with ES. Okay, we have these highs up here, and ES reaches all-time highs, as you can see. So we have a huge SMT, so it's really risky. Not much of a bias. We could, you know, it's really hard to determine because we could reverse off that SMT and come all the way down here, or we can just continue to run up. We never know with all-time highs. So yeah, it's pretty risky, but the one thing that I can think of for sure, because looking for shorts here, I would need an IFEG to the downside. There's just a lot more confluences and confirmations I would need to be bearish. But a continuation is just very simple. We either tap and disrespect it, or we tap and respect it, and that will determine if we get a trade or not. So we have an obvious 15-minute right here. We are already inside of a 5-minute as well. So that's that. We also have, I think this is going to be a 30-minute. Yeah, this is going to be a 30-minute right here, a little bit above that 15-minute once market opens. And yeah, we have 15-minute down here on ES. So be sure to mark that as well. And yeah, so if we hit this and respect this, we can look for longs. And if we end up inversing this, you know, maybe we can look for shorts. Let's see if we have anything down here. This 4-hour is not unmitigated. We are respecting that. We probably, let's see, we probably inversed. We inversed this hourly, so. All right, enough of that. Let's just get into the model because I'm kind of over-explaining. All right, so market opens, bang. We get very solid candles to the downside. And, I mean, dude, look at this reversal here. This looks fucking beautiful. We hit this 15-minute. All right, not only that, but we also hit OTE of this range. Okay, this is the lowest point. If I go on the 15-minute chart, it looks a little better. It's not the full range of the day, but it's this range from, you know, if you go on the 15-minute, we have this high, very obvious high, and then we have this recent low. So really good range to look at the equilibrium from. Hit the unmitigated 15-minute. You know what? Let's bring this down. Let's see if we did hit EQ from Asia low. So we even on this hard time frame range, if you want to be really specific about the range you're marking, both on this recent range and then this entire range right here, we hit equilibrium. All right, so that's great. We hit that 50% mark or more. Even if you want to do this low all the way down here and not this just recent low, we still hit OTE. So this is just a great sign. All right, we've hit equilibrium and more on every single range that we can possibly mark out. So we'll just leave it with that one. And we also have an SMT here, very beautiful SMT with ES. So we already have our equilibrium hit. We have our unmitigated gap getting tapped into. We have an SMT. We have great price action. Like, dude, this does not get any fucking better, bro. It doesn't get any better than this. This is the model you want to trade, bro. This is one of the best continuation models I've ever seen in my life. This was just so blatantly obvious, so clear to me. So just everything about this model was perfect, bro. Every single bit of it. All right. Now we have obviously that 1 minute leg. We have a 2 minute up here, and we also have a 3 minute. My trade was based off of the 3 and the 2 minute. What the hell happened? Oh, it's because I clicked the 4 minute time frame. Stupid piece of shit. Alright, well, we have a 2 and a 3 minute. I think it's the same. Yeah, so the top up here is the same. So we'll just keep an eye on the 2 minute. Bang, right there. Okay, let me bring this back to the entry so we can just check the 3 minute. Because, yeah, so these got inverse at the same exact time. We made equal highs here on NQ, so we're bound to take those out. We have a really, really good break-even point. Could be this, but this is pretty close if you ask me. But if we go a little higher, we have relatively equal highs right there. So that's great. What the fuck was I typing? What? All right. This is a great break-even point, and I'm going to mark this out. TP, honestly, it's kind of hard to determine if it was an A plus, TP or not, because this is not really a data high. Yes, it's the high we made from CPI, but there's no abnormal wick or anything. So it's not, I can't really determine if it's a really, really strong target or not. But yeah, this is the trade we took. I don't really remember where stop loss was, but this is a more than reasonable enough stop loss. I actually waited. Okay, this is based off discretion. So I didn't enter purely off the IFEG. Strictly because ES made equal lows. We have a triple equal lows here, and then we have quadruple equal highs. And what ES likes to do is once it makes equal highs, instead of it being a target, sometimes we like to just use that as a resistance level or a support level. So I'm just honestly waiting to see once these equal highs gets broken through. I'm perfectly willing to take the trade on NQ. That happens right here. Boom. We hit the equal highs, and I enter on NQ. I get a little bit, I think, of a discounted entry. Or, no, it might be the exact same. Yeah, I got the exact same entry that I entered right here. But, yeah, we had a deep retrace there. And good distribution there towards the break-even. And then, dude, this is so brutal, right? You cannot tell me that we're not going to hit this high, dude. We leave a no fucking wick up here. On this candle formation right here, we leave no wick. It's just a full course body just fucking running through this shit, dude. There's no way we didn't hit this, bro. Ah, that's so unfortunate. Look how close we came. Boom, bro. We were so fucking close. Took this on my live account, too, and then just absolute brutal break even. I could have trailed stops, like around here to a 1-to-1. Let's see. Yeah, 1-to-1 trailing stop would have been perfect, but I saw we had a fair value gap here, and I'm like, I'm going to give this room to breathe, and because we should hit this target. It's not like we had an SMT or anything, and that's what I'm expecting, right? ES is all the way down here. I'm expecting price to just run through this, have that SMT, and then maybe we can look for shorts from there, but, bro, that was just fucking brutal, dude. We get hit with this massive death candle here, and yeah, bro, from there it's just over. Trade ends up failing. This was an A+ model. This is everything you want to see when taking a trade. If you did not take this trade, dude, I honestly don't know what you're doing. If you didn't take here, I'll say this. If you didn't take this trade and you trade IFEGs, dude, what are you doing, bro? Because this is so fucking perfect. If I can show everyone a continuation model that is A+, I would 100% pick this one out of like 90% of all the other continuation model trades that I have marked up on here. So very, very good trade. Now that I've explained this for like 10 minutes, we'll finally move on to the second one. So here, okay. Now here, keep in mind, with this trade, right, we didn't hit this actually. We came very close to hitting this. We didn't make an SMT or anything. No SMT. And we have lots and lots and lots of low resistance here. Okay, if I mark this out, Oh my gosh, with this fucking magnet, bro. Lots of low resistance, okay? Just so much low resistance, and we have relatively equal highs. We've already taken out, not really, this isn't that important, but, you know, I like this as an extra confluence. But if you look at the time here, look at the little time right here. This is the 8:30 low we made, right, from CPI data. So this is technically a new data low. It's just not really that significant because it's not like we have a wick like a, let's see, we could do. You know, it's not like a super abnormal wick like that, right? This would have definitely been a good target to aim for, but yeah, it's just an extra confluence, so we won't need to mark that. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we have an SMT. ES ends up coming all the way down here, taking out Asia low. Let's see. All right, here's one flaw about this trade. So if you mark that 4 hour, you can see we edged the 4 hour, right? Same thing with the hourly. So we had an hourly and a 4 hour down here, and we edged it on ES by the time we got this model. But everything else, the reason why I still would count this as a trade, I mean, yes, you could avoid this if you don't like this, but dude, this trade was just so clean. So we have this SMT at Asia, like I've said already, and let's go to mark the SMT. Asia's all the way the fuck down here, right? We have an SMT with all of these lows here, so I'm gonna just mark this because Asia's all the way back there. We maintain respect to this 15-minute. We tap into a new 5-minute and respect that as well. Let's go to mark that out. So we have, since we don't have a liquidity sweep here, it's perfectly fine because we have a huge internal and external SMT there. So we don't need the liquidity sweep, that counts as it. So we have our SMT, multiple fair value gap respects, because at the time we were respecting, well, you just got spoiled there, but we were respecting this 30-minute here. And so we had everything that aligned. We had beautiful V shape here, great candle delivery. We had this fair value gap that we could put our stops a little bit beneath. Break even point was great too. Just right here at this recent internal high. I really don't know how this didn't work. The only reason I can think, why this didn't work was because ES had this 4 hour and hourly right beneath it, so we could have waited for that to get hit. But dude, just the chances of this hitting seem so high. I mean, we have a great break-even point, a ton of low resistance right here on this lower time frame. We have relatively equal highs. You know, the reversal point's insane. Oh, that's the last thing. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, I can just mark it right here. Boom. So even if you mark this entire range from this high up here all the way to Asia low, we're in OTE. So we have OTE, the SMT, the fair value gaps, the good price action, insane targets, low resistance, relatively equal highs, great break-even point. Like, dude, this, again, is another A-plus fucking model, bro. This is so A-plus. The only downside is literally this unmitigated hourly and 4 hour on ES, which I did not think was necessary because we have so many other confluences, you know, that are aligning with this trade. Like, bro, oh my goodness, this trade looks so good. Like, this just looks bound to hit, but unfortunately, this just runs straight to stop loss. And I actually missed out on this, luckily. So I wasn't looking at the charts, of course, after seeing all this, and then I came back, looked up and saw this, and of course I missed the entry. And so I told myself, you know what, if this 1 minute gets tapped and we get an IFG back to the upside, I'll take it. And we actually got a 15-second IFG, but I still didn't take it, and good thing I did it because that shit just got fucking wrecked. So I got wrecked here, and then so we had a brutal break even, brutal loss here off 2 A-plus models, and it's not until the third one. This is definitely my least favorite trade, just because not everything looked as sexy as here. So we had multiple confluences for that trade, and then right here is where we get our second trade. So basically, confluences to this trade is we took out Asia low, we hit this unmitigated 15-minute all the way down here, so that's, you know, that's nice. We don't really hit anything new. This 4 hour has already been tapped into. This hourly has already been tapped into. You know, maybe we hit, no, we probably hit equilibrium of this very, very large time frame. Yeah, so we hit equilibrium. Okay, that's good. You know, I'm not gonna just downplay this just because the other one's lost. From this huge range, though, we kind of edged EQ. If we're coming this close to EQ, I'd ideally just want to see that get hit. But, from this range here, I mean, this is where we had the SMT. We definitely hit equilibrium there. So once again, swept Asia low, hit an unmitigated gap, hit EQ of the range. We don't have an SMT or anything crazy, as you can see on ES. Just nothing, it just looks ordinary. This doesn't look too sexy like this original one did. Yeah, ES, pretty much nothing new except we did hit that unmitigated 4 and 1 hour gap, so that's great. Now, after we went over the confluences, we also have in terms of targets, we have an, okay, what the heck? We have an untapped 15-minute there, untapped. Now, this 15-minute looks really, really nice because we have, I don't really know the reasoning behind it, but we just have a no wick here, right? We think we have a very tiny wick. I really can't tell, but it's like no wick right there, right? So that's a really good sign because whenever we have that, it just shows a huge, it's hard to tell if there's no wick or not because there's like a very, very tiny gap. Anyways, let's just not worry about that. We have an unmitigated 5-minute as well right there, which is just above that 15-minute. So we have great targets. I will say the delivery on this is really, really good because it's, just one singular candle. It didn't take 3 candles to inverse. We just have boom, 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 3 candles. Break even, it's hard to determine the break even. I mean, you could have gone break even here, but this would have been a break even trade if you did. So we hit this unmitigated gap right on this candle, came back down, hit break even point. The thing with that is, yes, not only is it really, 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 really close, but also we have a huge gap that, we have to give a little bit of space to, retrace to because, if we have a huge gap like this and we're followed by a really short candle, most likely we're going to come back and hit that gap. But this did end up delivering all the way up here. After we hit this first 15 and 5-minute untapped gap, we just chop up until we hit that next unmitigated 15-minute, and then we have a huge fucking crazy candle here once again because we had that earlier up here with that first trade. And then we ended up delivering. We never even hit the final TP, or at least final targets, but we did hit all this low resistance, and then from there, it's up. We just chop up here. So, yeah, you can see we fall short of it, probably like 10 points. Well, more than that. Oh, I'm marking the wrong one. 20 points around there. But, yeah, that's going to be Tuesday. Now, on to the next day. We have, Wednesday. Let me see what we have. So, there are 3 trades. So far, Monday was a win. I would say it was a really, really good model. It's just, we were really high in premium, but besides that, it was an A+ model. Tuesday, we had an A+ long here. I'm actually keep all these trades marked out. Give me a minute. Wow, bro, this trade looks so beautiful. I don't know how we, failed to hit that target right there, dude. I really, really don't know how we didn't hit that. Beautiful 1 minute here as well. So yeah, Monday A+. This was definitely one of my favorite models because it's a continuation, and it's hard to say which of these two are better because this one has the better targets. I believe we have relatively equal highs as well as the CPI high that we made and low resistance. Dude, I don't know. I guess just seeing how this one delivered, I'm more biased towards it, and because I took it, but this one definitely looks really good as well. So we have 2 A+ models back to back. This one I wouldn't really consider A+. It's just a good model, you know what I mean? We're really late in the kill zone. Oh yeah, I forgot to mark one more thing. We had an SMT at this low. Right there, as you can see. Alright, anyways, let's skip to Friday. Whoa, what the hell? Wednesday. I was about to skip a whole damn week. What the hell? I don't know why I said that. Alright. 6 to 10. Wednesday. 10 to 11. Alright, Wednesday we had a winning trade This was really unfortunate for me because I woke up late. All right, I woke up late. Woke up at around almost, it was about to be 9, which New York time would have been 10. So really unfortunate. I missed out on a pretty banger ass trade. Yeah, let's just go ahead and run through this really quick. So we'll mark right here is this green line is going to be the 4 hour. Starting off with looking at the 15-minute chart because that's really what I start off with all the time so I can see the session highs. One thing I see is, we got to take into account we did hit all-time highs the previous day with ES and then had a huge high time frame SMT on NQ. So shorts made sense here. We are pretty far away from Asia high and Asia low. Yes, they're both still open, so we could see a reversal and target those highs. But once you look at the higher time frame, you can see what candle did this inverse on. So you see this 4 hour gets inverse, right? Right there. It's really obvious. We inverse that at from the 2 to 6 a.m. candle. So 6 a.m. candle's all the way down here. Right there. So you can see we're well beneath that. We even saw it on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour has been inverse to the downside, right? We can assume that would be bearish. I mean, we're already far away from these targets. Inverse the 4 hour, and we also inverse the hourly as well. If I move this up here a bit, you can see it right there. Inverse the hourly. So we are definitely looking bearish, right? We're inside of a hourly gap. We're also inside of a 30-minute gap. We're also inside of a 15-minute gap. And I think we're inside of a 5-minute. Yeah, we're inside of a 5-minute. So multiple time frame for value gaps that we're inside of. The 4 hour, we're not really in it. But it doesn't matter. We have the 1 hour and everything beneath that. So that's obviously really, really good. In terms of targets, we have really, really good low resistance here. Great LRR. LR. And ES actually, I feel like has the better low resistance. We have relatively equal lows here. Right there. And just more prominent lows. Just looks a little nicer to me in my opinion. Yeah, we have high time frame, low resistance. And actually, I don't know. NQ does look really, really solid here. Either way, doesn't matter. They both look good. We also inverse this 15-minute as well. And you know what? Since we already went over all of those, we might as well look at the 30-minute. 30-minute has also been inversed. So we inverse every single high time frame for value gap. All right. And if we look at anything else here, it's very, very hard to identify if we have a fair value gap. We do have a very tiny 15-minute here, but what the fuck is this 15-minute compared to all those other high time frame fair value gaps that we inverse? Like, dude, very obviously looking bearish here. We even inverse this 15-minute right here as well. Like, this is basically a high time frame model here. Boom. That's what we're looking like. Now, obviously, you wouldn't take this because, we have market open. Market open could, really just run the stop loss for a manipulation and then dump lower. So that's why you wouldn't take that. And not only that, it's a 15-minute IPG. I'm not experienced with taking those at all. But all right, enough yap. Let's just get into it. Let me check this. So we inverse the 5-minute as well. So it's even more confirmation. Like, dude, there's so much confirmation here. It's actually insane. And see, here's my thing, right? Wait, where are we? Are we at 9 a.m.? All right, we'll just skip. This is my thing. Boom, right here. All right, I woke up, and the first thing that I saw was this. Obviously, I didn't see this live time. I already had seen it played out, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I didn't miss out on any trade because, this just looks like a very obvious long right here, right? When you're looking at this looks like, oh, we definitely got a long here. We have a liquidity sweep here. We have a recent high up here. This definitely looks long. We have these targets up here, but until I did my higher time frame analysis, I saw that, okay, that wasn't even a good setup at all. This long was terrible. The only thing that was good about this long is it looked good, if you're simply pattern trading, like just trading based off what the candlestick looks like with no analysis. Like, this looks very fucking good. This looks A+, but if you do your actual analysis, you would see this is a horrible, horrible, trade. Not only that, but yes, we got the IFGs on the 1 minute here. But look at this 2 minute, bro. Respected the hell out of that 2 minute. Respected this 3 minute as well. Very tiny. And it's going to take a while to load because it's a 4 minute. But I want to show that we also respected a 4 minute down here. What? Oh, not down there. It was right here. We respected this 4 minute. And then we also respected this 1 minute up here, that 1 minute up there, 2 minute up here as well. Not only this, but this 2 minute up here and this 3 minute up here. So we're respecting multiple time frame fair value gaps. The only thing I don't like about this though is that we inverse the 5 minute here, which, you know, if we respected this would have been a very, very great model. But, you know, it's honestly, it's hard to say what I'd rate this reversal point because it's so weird. Like, you would expect us to have an SMT at those highs, but we did not. We failed to hit those highs. We actually built trend line here on ES. Almost perfect trend line there. But yeah, we did hit these relatively equal highs. All right there. Respected the fair value gaps, and then we got an IFEG to the downside here. Oops, right there. It's hard to tell. We barely inversed this gap. So, dude, I think we inversed it by like not even $1. It was like let's just check here. The high of this candle, the high is 25, 696.25, 696.25. The close of this candle was 696. So we inversed it by literally 25 cents, bro. That's like a very, very risky IFEG there. I would really want to see, like, if we close down here, that would have looked so much better, but, you know, it is what it is. Stop loss, I guess, to be safe. I mean, we did already retrace, but, you know, stops above this fair value gap seems reasonable. Good break-even point at the swing low. And targets, of course, would be, the first target was this London low for 1.25 R. This next low, beneath that, 1.5 plus R. And then for all this liquidity down here, we have a 2.5 R. So let's just see. I think we did hit all these targets. I don't really remember because I didn't trade this day, but see, whenever I first looked at the charts without my analysis, it just looked like we had a long setup that just completely failed. But with behind the analysis, we can see this wasn't a setup at all, and actually this was the setup here. So come back up, we retest this level here, kind of chopping, and then yeah, we deliver. Oh yeah, another thing is we also had a new, you know, if I go to the hourly chart, you can probably see a little bit better. Right here, we have a new, is this a week or day? Yeah, new week opening gap here. And I think we actually hit that too. Okay, yeah, we did hit it like way later, in like 12 p.m. though, or like around 12 p.m. No, didn't even hit it yet. Here we go, 1 p.m. Excuse me. Hit that new week opening gap. Holy, this looks insane. But yeah, just a lot of good confluences and targets to the downside. We had low resistance, the new week opening gap. You know, we had the higher time frame IFEGs to the downside. We had the retracements here. We had another manipulation leg here. The only downside about this, not even a downside, just the thing I did not like about this was that we didn't hit this recent high. You know, if we hit this recent high, had an SMT, this would have looked absolutely perfect. All right, and the only reason I was really saying that was because we inversed the 5 minute. But if we did not inverse the 5 minute and we end up just holding respect of that, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 minute, all holding respect, took out relatively equal highs, had the IFEG, that would have been A+. But I just don't, I don't know, maybe I'm just not really too familiar with this, but it's not that it's bad. It's definitely not a bad reversal point. It's a really, really good reversal point. It's just, you know, I'm just nitpicking, bro. I'm just nitpicking, so that's it. Anyways, here's Wednesday. This, did I have this marked as A+ setup? I have this marked as a good setup. The reasons why are because, you know, I just expected a little bit more of this manipulation leg, and also this IFEG kind of sucked. Just wish it had better distribution. By the time we got another a bearish candle that actually confirmed that, all right, we're really, really disrespecting this, was this one right here, and this would have been invalidated because we already hit the break-even point. So yeah, that's that. Pretty unfortunate, but, you know, it's fine. This is still a really, really good model. I don't know if I would have taken this or not. Yeah. So now, moving on to Thursday. We have 2 more days. Friday, we actually didn't even have a trade, so we don't really have much to go over. Thursday, we have 1 break-even trade and 1 winning trade. Alrighty. Bring this back. Okay, so let me pull this first trade up. It's a okay, it looks like a continuation. All right, Thursday was definitely had one of the worst price actions I've seen all year so far. This price action sucks. I mean, you can see for yourself, right? Let's bring this back to 9:30 market open. So if you go to the 15-minute chart, well, not the 250-minute, I mean the 15-minute. One thing that I was looking forward to before market open, because we had yet to take these highs out, was all right. It looks like we can get simple continuations toward this target. This looks really A plus. Well, actually, the very first thing I saw was we're like massively overextended from this previous day low up until now, 500 points. Already overextended. That's just crazy to me. It's insane. But we do have. This was the target I wanted to aim for. This was like the final target. I'm not really expecting NQ to push up an extra 100 points up here just to hit these targets because we're already like I said overextended. But these targets up here looked so nice, and it was just so sad to see that at market open, or I think before market open at 9:15, we hit these targets already. So there's really nothing to aim for. But the only other good target I can see, which I wasn't even looking for longs at all, and I'll tell you why, but we do, just keep in mind we have this 15-minute BPR. We also rejected a, never mind, we didn't reject. No, we did. So, rejected off this 4-hour new week opening gap. We inverse all of these fair value gaps to the upside on the 4-hour. So, super high time frame confirmation that we're going to be bullish, right? Again, rejecting out of that. New week opening gap. Respecting this 1-hour gap. Inversing all of these 1-hour gaps. And we just, dude, all these inverses, it just confirms our bullish bias. But, dude, we're just so far up. Like, it's hard to tell if we still want to continue up. So, it's very risky. But, yeah, enough said here. Now, we did tap into this 15 minutes, so it's not unmitigated, but we just barely tapped into it. We could very much likely just push lower, retrace a little bit deeper into it. So we'll keep that in mind. We have a 15-minute here. We also have a 30-minute right there as well. And then we also have a 5-minute. Pretty tiny, but yeah. Now, market opens. Boom. We hit that 15-minute, we hit that 5-minute, and we hit that 30-minute. And if we mark this little range here, because obviously we're not going to expect equilibrium to hit from this massive fucking range. It's crazy. But we do have this recent low that we made, at least on the higher time frame. It's a more prominent low. We're in a downtrend, and then we're in an uptrend. And yeah. Enough said. I don't know why I'm over-explaining that, but we hit OTE of this range. We do inverse this 5-minute. Wait, did we? Yeah, we do inverse the 5-minute, which is not really what I would like to see. But we hold respect of the 15-minute right here and the 30-minute at the time. Okay, it's, of course it's going to show this, but at the time we were respecting this. Oh, we also had another 30-minute down here that we respected. And yeah, basically the trade was just simply what the hell was it? Did we already pass it? Okay. Alright, so we get a 1-minute IFEG here, and the higher time frame is the 2-minute. Right there. Stop's gonna be at this wick low, TP at the recent high, or if you want to extend that up here, because this is the next objective I could assume to get hit, but didn't hit that. We just hit this. So this trade did win. Now, the reason I did not take this, and nor did I take data on it, was simply because at the time of the entry, we had already hit the 5-minute. So, and what I was expecting was, we already hit the targets that I really want to, look for. So what I can expect is just confirmation set up to the downside and just look for a simple retrace. So we have an unmitigated hourly down here. So I'm gonna mark that, and then we also have an unmitigated 4-hour right there. Now this won't matter too much because we haven't opened the 4-hour yet at the time of this trading little period here. So anywhere from market open and before 10 a.m., this 4-hour is completely what's the word for it? Irrelevant, because it's not even there yet. So just only keep in mind the hourly until it hits 10 a.m. But yeah, what I was expecting was a 5-minute, this 5 minute to get tapped into and for it to hold, and then look for a continuation IFEG to the downside, and then target that one mitigated hourly. That's really what I wanted. But oh, one more other confluence that I was looking forward to was this hourly aligned with not O to E, EQ, a little bit just beneath that EQ of this range from the high all the way from London low, and this is a really good low right here. I really like that low. It looks really nice. But yeah. This, actually, I forgot to go over the break-even trade. Here's the break-even trade that I had no intention whatsoever of taking, because, like I said, I was not looking for longs. I was expecting this 5 minute to hold, which it didn't. But we did have a 5-minute IFG up here. So if you enter up here, stops, right here, this would have been a break-even point, because that's clearly not a 1-to-1 to me. But if we wanted to be bullish, this seems like the next really good objective for around a 1.5 to whatever you want to aim for. But you have that 15-minute BPR. That's what I was saying to pay close attention to earlier. And break-even point was this swing high here. End up hitting that swing high, and this makes an SMT. I'll show you on ES real quick. We have the SMT, and yeah, this was a break-even trade. Now, here's a trade that I took discretionally on Thursday, and it was a loss. I took it on eval though, just because price action was already looking really bad, really horrendous. But yeah, we had this really smooth candle here, the downside. Stops up here, and just really targeting this unmitigated 1 hour. Again, this 4 hour is completely irrelevant because we have not opened 10 a.m. yet, right? Dude, oh my gosh, I have this fucking pimple on my shoulder, and it bothering the hell out of me. Ouch. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, the break-even point should have definitely been here. So this was a break-even trade if you took this, but for me personally, I entered after we hit the break-even point. Like, once we had a retest, I entered, and then just, of course, straight to stop loss. Not a tick or an ounce of profit. But yeah, this isn't a trade for me simply because, we still have this 15-minute that has yet to get inverse. Again, this inverses at 10 a.m., and 10 a.m. has not opened yet, so we have no confirmation of that, nor the 30-minute just yet. And also, I just didn't like that we didn't hold respect. Like, this would have been much more of a better model, and I would have probably taken data on it if we respected the 5-minute. But the fact that we inversed the 5-minute, I don't think we respected any other time frame for a value gap. Yeah, we inversed the 2-minute up here, or right there, and the 1-minute as well. Like, I just didn't like that. I mean, yes, we did retake this high, so kind of all that's invalid, but, dude, like, there's, like, if we would have just respected this, it just would have looked a lot better. But yeah, price is obviously really bad, so this just doesn't seem like a model that I would take data on. And I would never take this on my live account, which is the main reason why I didn't take data on it. But took it on eval because, it's an eval, it's worth the risk. So yeah, after that, we ended up inversing back to the upside, and then I'm like, okay, we're probably going to continue up higher to this 15-minute BPR, and then we inverse back to the downside. Now, this right here, if you're still looking to take a trade at this point in time, you got something wrong with you, bro. Because there's no way you're actually trying to look for a trade when the bias is completely fucked. There's no confirmation we're going anywhere. We're bouncing in a 15-minute. We don't know if we're going to inverse it or respect it. Market opens. We come down here. We run back up, inverse this gap. We inverse this 5-minute as well. And then we run back down, inverse this gap here. And then we run back up, inverse this gap here, and then inverse back to the downside here, inversing here. Like, dude, there's just so many inverses back and forth. We're just bouncing up and down. There's no confirmation whatsoever that we're going in any direction, so nothing should have been taken here. And then, yeah, we just have a huge chop session here. And then here, yes, considering the price action, you shouldn't be trading, but, dude, this looked way too A+ to not, take. Of course, took this on eval as well. We have relatively, oh, I marked that wrong. relatively equal lows here. We also have an SMT at this high. So SMT right there. Let me show you ES as well. There's the SMT. And of course, we're not simply just going based off the SMT. We would need more confirmation. Like, it has to show that's a good SMT. It's just kind of a lower time frame. It's not really a high time frame like with a key level. But considering the fact that we already, came up to these targets, we have a huge 30-minute. I forgot to mention that earlier. We have a huge 30-minute fair value gap that's holding right there. We have these Asia relatively equal highs here as well. And like I said before, looking for shorts because it looks like we're bound for a retracement just because we're so overextended. Like, there's no way we don't come down here, right? And, yeah. So, another thing I want to clarify too is you never want to trade price action like this. Even if we get a setup inside of price action like this, never, ever take it, all right? The only reason this should have ever been taken, right? At this point in time, there's no fair value gap to be, spotted. You have to squint your eyes and stretch this. Like, there's too much shit you have to do to find a fair value gap, right? But you can see when price actually starts to clean up. You can see we're kind of getting big moves here with this down close candle. Clear fair value gap right there. Another massive move to the downside. So price action is obviously looking to kind of get cleaned up. We're still chopping though. Another clear fair value gap right there as well. Clear fair value gap right there. Clear fair value gap right here. Like, things are starting to be clear. Like, at this point in time, there's nothing, and then now we're starting to develop cleaner price action, and then that's when we get the SMT. And then we have a 2-minute right here. 2-minute fair value gap right there. Bang. Stops probably could be up here or something like that. A good target would just be these relatively equal lows because you got to remember price is really bad. So, aiming for 1-to-1 isn't bad here considering the price action. But of course, since it was an eval, I had to recover the loss, and then I also had to make enough to be in profit for the day to pass the accounts. And so, of course, I extended this shit all the way down here. My stop was a bit closer, so it can be like a 1-to-3. I don't know where my stop was. It was somewhere around there, right? Excuse me. And then, but yeah, just a very clean IFEG here. Great distribution. The only thing about this is you have to use discretion because if you waited for this 3-minute, you would have been all the way down here and you would have gotten break even because once these relatively equal lows hit, probably like ran back up. Or maybe they didn't. Let's see. Boom. These get hit if we do come back up. Okay, maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't get break even, but still, you would have got a very, very bad entry. You would have missed. That's like how many? It's like 26 points of just you miss right there. And then not only that, you have a riskier stop loss because it's going to have to be closer than rather it be all the way up here. So yeah, it's very risky, but discretion was definitely the move here because we have this 1-minute IFEG, we have the 2-minute IFEG, great displacement, SMT, everything aligned. And honestly, the biggest thing about this trade here were the targets. This is what completely made up this trade. Because if it weren't for the targets, I would have never taken this a day in my life. We have beautiful, relatively equal lows. At this time, the 10-minute, not 10 minutes, sorry, the 10 a.m. candle, 10 a.m. had already opened. So we have this 4 hour. So now it's actually relevant. As you can see, we have the 4 hour right there. Also have this unmitigated hourly. We have EQ that's literally right on top of the 4 hour. Like, bro, it just does not get any better than this. You have so many great targets, okay? So many fucking great targets. Just, oh my gosh, bro. One thing that kind of annoyed me, though, about this trade was, look at this shit. Luckily, I full took profit around right here, so I got filled, luckily. But if I had stops all the way down here, I would have been screwed because we just completely reversed, disregarding this 1 hour. And I want to point out a mistake I made just so I can, remember this. I already pointed this out on my recap video, but dude, so I was so fixated on this 1 hour for value gap because I wasn't really paying attention after we chopped up, so I wasn't doing that much analysis. I was just going based off of this 1 hour, these relatively equal lows and whatnot, and I didn't notice we had the 4 hour. So if I noticed we had the 4 hour, I would have definitely managed my position a lot better by trailing a lot more once we hit it. But if I didn't get filled here, I would have got stopped in profit all the way up here for around a 1-to-1. So I got very, very lucky there. I should definitely have paid more attention to the targets here. Seeing that we hit EQ, we hit this low here, which was also an unmitigated 4-hour. Excuse me. But yeah, this was another great trade. Discretionary, mechanically, I can see a lot of flaws in it, but if you're using discretion and we have great targets and we're overextended, so expecting price to move lower if we're extended to the upside makes much more sense than expecting it to keep pushing to the upside. So a lot aligned with this trade. I really liked it. Very, very great. Now on to the last day. We have what the hell is that? We have where is it? 6 a.m. Oh my gosh, that thing's fucking annoying me. We have Friday, which we actually didn't get anything. 10 to 11, 15 minutes. So everything was. Let me actually bring this back to market open because I'll open the chart and I can already see that we're probably not going to get nothing. We're super uncorrelated. As you can see, ES, we hit Asia low. We have London high above. And then we have on NQ, we have both London and Asia low. No London high above. We're just super uncorrelated, but we do have an SMT. But this day, I didn't know it was OPEX until once I was already trading, so I would have definitely slept in if that was the case. Honestly, hard to even go over the bias. I really had no fucking bias because I wasn't looking to trade at all. But we did inverse the upside here, but we also inversed the downside. One really big high time frame key thing I was looking at was these there's an unmitigated 4-hour and relatively equal lows there. So that's a great target. Hourly, dude, I'm gonna just skip to the models because there was setups, discretional setups. Of course, mechanically wise, there's nothing to be taken here. So we have an SMT at this high up here. Boom, right there. And we just kind of just start running down. Up here, you could expect a continuation long because of that SMT, but we don't get anything, no clean price action at all whatsoever. Or I don't know if it was a continuation long or just, I don't know. There's nothing. I just know there was nothing here, okay? Nothing here. We have horrible price action, as you can see. And we end up just dumping. We hit London low. We can expect a reversal off that. Don't get anything. We could expect a reversal off here. Don't get anything. So once bias is confirmed to be short, if we go on the 15-minute, I'll show you exactly where that was. So once this 15-minute close from, wow, okay, market open. Boom, we came down here. And then from 45 to 10, we have a huge death candle here. We inverse. Let's see how many gaps. 1 15-minute, 2, 3. So 3 15-minutes we inverse. On the hourly as well, we inverse. Well, we didn't technically inverse this yet, but I mean, this looks very obvious. We have no rejection wick here, so it doesn't look like we're inversing this whatsoever. We also inverse this gap up here on the 1 hour, and we basically just inverse a lot of high time frame fair value gaps. And if I go to the 30-minute, we can probably find another one. Yep, inverse this one. That's about it. But yeah, we're just inversing higher time frame fair value gaps. We're confirming our bias to be bearish. And let me actually bring this back up here. Whoa, not all the way up there, but here we go. If we check ES, we have equal lows on here. Let's see what else we have. We have I mitigated 4-hour down here. We're already in a 4-hour up there, so don't really like that. We don't really have much else going on for us on ES, so that's kind of unfortunate. But on NQ, I just really like this level here, relatively equal lows and whatnot. Another thing we have is this. This is pretty important. We have this new day opening gap. What else? So we can just expect shorts to at least go to here and to these levels here. These are the only 2 targets I can see getting hit, like for sure. Longs are out of the picture, out of the question here. So yeah, we hit this level and we actually get a 1-minute IFEG to the upside, right here. So you could go long here. This is very pattern trading, very much pattern trading. Like, what are you gonna target, dude? We just been confirmed to be bearish. Like, there's no fucking confluence whatsoever besides hitting the new week opening gap that we're gonna be bullish, right? ES already closed beneath this new week opening gap, so like, bro, this just looks so stupid. Would never do this longest day of my life. So yeah, we're not counting that at all. We're not even gonna go over that because that's just not a trade whatsoever. But mechanically, it was. Just if you're using common sense and discretion, you would know that that's not a good trade at all to take. Now here's the model that we got. That's not technically a model because it's invalid. So we hit the 5 minute, right? We don't have a single fair value gap inside. We have a 3 minute fair value gap. That's about it. By the time we get to 3 minute, we already hit the break even point, so it's already like, you know, pretty risky. I mean, if you really had strong conviction, it would be bearish. I didn't doubt that it would be bearish. Okay, the only thing is I just didn't like how price action was so uncorrelated, so I didn't want to risk anything. But we have a nice 1-to-1 R to these 4-hour relatively equal lows. I wonder if you could have put stops there. Let's see what happened. Yeah, you could have put stops there and hit for almost a 1-to-2, 1.8 R. There was an earlier entry around up here. We had a very clean 30-second right there, but of course, really, really risky, especially, I mean, unless you took it up here. I don't remember exactly what the 30-second was, but if you took the 30-second up here and just went break even at the 3 minute, that would have made a lot of sense. Going break even here, but you probably most likely would have, yeah, you would have gotten break even unless the 30-second was up here or something. I don't know. Overall, that 30 seconds is just really risky, so I don't really like that. But this 3 minute is also, this 3 minute looks much more better. Just invalid, and wasn't even looking to trade today. It was Friday. We've had setups every day of the week, and usually there's around 1 day of the week where we don't have nothing. Okay, I'm looking back at my chart, and let's see. So this week we had setups Monday through Thursday, no setup Friday. The week before this, set up every single day except for Tuesday. And mind you, these are setups that won and lost. And then the week before that, we actually had a setup every single day except for January because it was a New Year's bank holiday. The week before that, which is December, week 4, we have a trading day for every single day except for Tuesday, and then Thursday, which was Christmas Day, was a bank holiday. The week before that, we have a trade from Monday through Thursday except for Friday. The week before that, we have a trade every single day from Tuesday to Friday except Monday. The week before that, we have a trade every single day of the week except for Wednesday. The week before that, we have a trade every single day of the week from Monday through Thursday except for Friday. That Thursday was Thanksgiving bank holiday as well. So, and then yeah, the week before that, we actually do have a setup every single day of the week. But for the most part, we usually have 1 day where we don't have, you know, a setup. So that's a pattern that I'm kind of noticing with this model here. So taking into consideration that we've had a really, really good week. We had Monday a win, Tuesday we had a break even, a loss and a win, and then Wednesday we had a win, Thursday we had a break even and a win. So we had a pretty good week despite the bad PA and the ultimate edging on this week's price action. But we had a really, really good week, and Friday was OPEX. Massive markets were massively uncorrelated, and just yeah, lots of shit just didn't align. So didn't like anything here, and let's just see what else we can go over once we hit that. I think once we hit this 4-hour relatively equal lows, we got a pretty decent long. This is something that kind of sucked. Obviously, my discretion is telling me not to trade anything whatsoever, not even thinking about looking for longs. But once we hit this DOL that we've been looking to get hit for basically the entire price day of entire price. What the fuck am I saying right now? I just lost words because I keep hearing noises. But we have a very nice 1 minute, a nice 2 minute, and the break-even point seemed to be this 5 minute, which we edged. But I mean, we hit a 4 minute right there. We also hit a 3 minute. No, we did not. We edged this 3 minute, but we hit a 2 minute right there. So yeah, you would have to like micromanage your trade like crazy, but not only that, entries all the way up here, so it's really, really risky. Dude, that would have sucked. Imagine going break even right here. Like, all right, bet. Finna hit break even, and then next candle, we don't even leave a wick up. We just fucking dump it all the way down, inversing this gap. Like, this has gotta suck, because this is definitely a better model than this. This makes way more sense. But then again, just no long should have been taken. You should have just been completely done for the day. And yeah, so definitely didn't trade or take any model here. But yeah, that's going to be it for this week's price action. And since we are done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly go over every single thing, like I always do. I'm gonna end this because I can't hear my own thoughts. I just hear a bunch of shit. Okay, so this was I'm showing the 1 minute chart on all of these. I'm not gonna show every detail, so I'm just gonna show the 1 minute. But yeah, here we have a simple continuation. We are, really overextended. We hit all the targets we could have really thought of hitting. Luckily, we found a reason for us to be more bullish because we had low resistance. We had an unmitigated hourly and unmitigated 15-minute, and so we had reasons for being, aiming higher. We had good objectives. Simple and basic, just 5-minute retrace here, an SMT at this low here, and then we also had the 2-minute IFEG with a great break-even point, which hit for around a 1.5, and then we're followed by another model, which, if we are massively overextended, we can expect some type of retracement. So after this big move, we have this unmitigated 15-minute here that we could target. We have a bunch of low resistance. So the target-wise, this trade looks really, really, really good. I just did not like the price action whatsoever. Like I said in the previous video, right? You don't want to start trading until you see good price action getting formed. We just don't see that at all here. We just don't see that at all. So that's why I didn't take this, but we did have a 2-minute. We had the SMT. We already hit all these targets up here, and we just had great targets to the sell side. So yeah, if anything, it was a break-even trade. It wasn't a losing trade or anything. Yeah, that's Monday. Now, if we go to Tuesday, this was probably my favorite day. This was definitely my favorite day, even though it sucked, but everything just looks super clean here. So we have CPI. I'm not going to say the news data high, but we just have I'm going to say CPI high, right? We have CPI high. We have an unmitigated 15-minute down here, and what's it called? ES is at all-time high, so it's hard to predict if we're going to go, higher or lower. We have to just react to price. We can't really predict in this situation, but we do hit this 15-minute with very clean. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Right here, you shouldn't be looking for a trade. This is exactly what price action looked like on the Monday trade on that short. When I said price action looked really ugly, you should not be looking to take a trade here at all. But once we have this clean, smooth, and readable price action, that's when you should be looking to take a trade, right? And anyways, we hit this 15-minute, which is also a 30-minute. We hit OTE of this range from London low up until here. And we also, if you want to mark the higher range, we still hit equilibrium. And we also had an SMT at this low. We had very, very clean IFEG to the upside. Good break-even point. Very, 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 very good break-even point at these relatively equal highs. Targets to this high up here, CPI high, and yeah, just a really, really clean IFEG here. Just everything made sense. Ended up failing. Technically, it was a winning trade, but it just edged the final TP, so it was a break-even trade for me. And we're followed by horrible price action, but we're building good trend line and low resistance right here. I wouldn't say trend line. I would say low resistance. Maybe this model does look a lot more better than this one. Now that I'm looking back at it, but we hit OTE of this range from all the way up here all the way to London or Asia low. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Asia low. We respect this 5-minute down here. We respect the 15-minute and the 30-minute as well. We have an SMT at Asia low, and just everything aligned right. We have a good break-even point. We have, not only do we have CPI high, but we also have relatively equal highs now, and we have low resistance up here. This just looks so clean. We had a good IFEG here, and then that failed again. So once both these setups failed, it should just be your cue to just hop off. So if you took this, I don't know what you're doing. You should just be off the charts by then. But yeah, we do end up hitting this unmitigated 15-minute from the previous day. We also hit Asia low, and yeah, we're already hitting the 4-hour and the hourly, so this is not really going to count that because we were already in it. It's not like an unmitigated gap or anything. The only thing about this was ES finally had hit that 4-hour gap and that 1-hour gap that were both unmitigated, so that's a plus. We also have a nice resweep here with an SMT, and then just, what the heck? My charts are weird right now. I'm going to reload this and go back. Thursday. What the heck is this? What day is this? what? Okay, I remember now. Here we are. Okay, I did all that just for this to still be messed up, but I'm on the 1 minute chart, but we had a 1 minute IFEG here. I don't know why the charts are doing this. It's just like showing a missing candle, but yeah, we had good targets to the upside, unmitigated gaps, whatnot, and this is just not an A+ model. It's just a good model, I would say. You know, especially seeing these two models fail. This is definitely a riskier play, but still is a setup. And then on to the last actual trading day, we have nice continuations to the downside. Everything showed us that we're bearish. We had multiple higher time frame and lower time frame IFGs to the downside, showing that we want to be bearish. We have these targets are just way out of reach, and so that's another confluence. We also are inside of a 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and a 5-minute for value gap here. We have great sell side, low resistance here, and yeah, just lots and lots of confirmation to the downside. We have a pretty interesting manipulation leg. I was expecting this to get hit, but you know everything still did align. We had the 1, 2, 3, and 4-minute for value gap holding respect, sweeping out. Excuse me. This relatively equal highs, having an IFG to the downside, targeting that low resistance. Another good model. I wouldn't say that's A+. Let me make sure I didn't mark it as A+ here. Okay, I did not. Good. This is yeah, I wouldn't say this is AA+ in my personal opinion. And then Friday we're just followed by horrible. Oh no, we skipped Thursday. Sorry, Thursday we have Thursday too. We have horrible price action. We are just huge. This is the biggest day of overextension we've had all week. We've already hit all the buy side targets, so we do get a long setup here, but it's just not smart to take this at all. There's nothing smart about that. Ends up getting break even anyways. We end up chopping. We run back up, have an SMT. Price action smooths out. As you can see, price looks so ugly here, and then we end up smoothing out with very clean fair value gaps getting formed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 fair value gaps that end up getting formed after having the whole like 30 minutes of absolutely nothing. Very nice and clean IFG to the downside, and if it weren't for the targets, I would not take this trade, but it's because the targets were so good that I took this trade. We had relatively equal lows down here. We had equilibrium of this range from the high all the way to London low. We have an unmitigated 4-hour. We have an unmitigated hourly. It just looks like we're bound for retracement because we're so overextended. Again, 500 plus points. So, and then lastly, we're followed by horrible price action here. Just really uncorrelated. We do get confirmation that we want to be bearish, and we get a nice 5-minute pullback. We get a 3-minute IFG to the downside, but since what is this? I don't know what this is. But it's pretty much invalid because we already hit the break-even point, so just an invalid trade. But we do end up delivering, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this week recap. Geez, this was definitely longer than the other ones because I'm used to doing 20 to 30-minute recaps. This is probably like 45 minutes, but I'm gonna end this here, and yeah, that's gonna be it. And peace.